Hello, everyone. I'm Dana, and I've been working in museums for around 6 years.
Hi, I'm Sonia, and I've been working in museums and co-ops for 10 years. So Squash the Museum, a restructuring of the work hierarchy, gives examples, steps, and refocuses the conversation for creative organizations to change and become more equitable.
Let's start with how museums currently function. Hierarchy. Most institutions contain a board of directors, a CEO, COO, president, director, department heads, managers, coordinators and assistants, part-time and per diem front of house staff. This isn't working, and it sucks. Here's why. Hierarchy inherently creates inequity. When people are put above and below each other based on job title and pay, it creates a system that benefits privilege and creates barriers. It also limits whose voice is getting heard.
Even from a managerial standpoint, hierarchy is inefficient. It slows down communication, limits creativity, and keeps departments siloed. This makes museums inflexible and prevents innovation and growth. Departments have to fight with each other for resources instead of working together. All roles become specialized in a hierarchy, meaning that people fail upwards. They leave institutions in order to be promoted, or they leave the field entirely. And finally, hierarchy is colonial. Historically, it has been used during colonization to discriminate and consolidate power.
Essentially, museums are creative work being run like corporations. The good news is, it doesn't have to be this way. We're going to discuss two alternative structures. These are adaptable, bendable, and they're also just two of many alternative structures out there. A flat or flat earth structure means eliminating job titles, managers, and executives. Because resources are shared and departments aren't siloed, communication is happening between everyone all the time for everything. Everyone participates in all functions of the museum. So let's say you're an educator. You could work with a team to create education materials, tours, and programming as part of the exhibition process, not as an afterthought. You would have input in the way the space is laid out, so you don't have to squeeze a group of fourth graders into a corner to look at an object. You would be helping to tell the story, not translate it later. This kind of structure requires a conscious commitment to conversation, but from it, museum workers would face less burnout, better pay equity, and be able to focus on personal and institutional growth as opposed to career climbing.
Another alternative model is the co-op structure. A cooperative is a group of people with a shared economic, social, and cultural interest who jointly own the organization. They're democratically run, with each member receiving one vote. Co-ops are workers-centered as opposed to profit-centered. This means that all workers would receive equitable pay and a voice in the direction of the organization. Daily tasks can be delegated and roles can be assigned, but the larger economic and mission-driven decisions are made through consensus. With a co-op system, you may still have defined education departments with assigned educators, but those educators will be at the table with an equal vote when deciding how the budget gets distributed, who gets hired, and what kinds of exhibitions and programs will be created. Co-ops encourage job retention and community-centered goals.
Hopefully by now you're thinking, this sounds great, let's do it. But you may still be a bit skeptical about the practicality. That's reasonable. The United States has a long history of promoting anti-organizing propaganda. Everything from our government and social services to our private industries are run by hierarchy.
To have a flattened structure in an already existing organization, you need to begin by delayering. This is a process of identifying redundancies in management and eliminating or transforming those activities. Erase the need for micromanaging and focus on collaborative group communication. Make everyone in a museum a researcher, a storyteller, and an educator.
This delayering also means reducing the number of pay grades and salary ranges. Everyone should be making similar or the same salary, And certainly everyone should be making a living wage. There should be clear protocol for bonuses and salary increases that are equal across the museum. Together, staff should create performance indicators and have regular check-ins, which will keep everyone accountable and on the same page. Some organizations might use consultants to help minimize mistakes in the process. But even then, the staff must be fully engaged every step of the way.
That being said, this is not easy. Organizations don't want to break from the status quo unless they're forced. Unions can help create safer, more equitable work environments, but they can't solve all of the problems that are facing museums today. So start by modeling the types of structures that you want to see and show that it's possible. This can be done with friends and colleagues independent of your formal organization. Communication is the key to all of this. Open access and information sharing will help pave the way for larger conversations that can happen on equal footing. When everyone is on the same page, change can be made.
We would be thrilled to talk about this more during the conference. Please join us on Hopin during the Expo for more info.